Scott Hansen here from NFL Red Zone. I hope you're checking out 1 hour of 5-Yard Rush, one of the best podcasts on NFL football in the UK.
What's happening, Rush Nation? We're back. We're back with another Charity League fantasy football scoring examined. This time it's the Argyle Bowl. And a lot of different charity tournaments going on. I hope you saw my one on women fantasy football. We've done the FFCC. We've done the JTT Cup. We've done the Scott Fish Bowl. We've done the Argyle Charity Bowl. We've done the Super League. Loads of scoring. Battle of the Sexes. We've done that one too. A few more to do. Warrior Bowl, THFFBB is on the list. I think there's one or two more as well still to do. MND Bowl, that's out there as well. That's one on the list as well. So there's loads of these explainers that we're doing right now. If you're only tuning into the channel for these, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Please hit that like and subscribe. Really helps us to grow the channel, do more of this sort of stuff. Reach more people, and also check out some of the podcasts we've dropped. We've dropped some amazing podcasts like the Joe Pisapia, Pat Fitzmaurice, Bob Lung. Last 3 guests we had Jack Humphrey. We've done mock draft. We're gonna do another mock draft later on in the week as well. Loads of stuff going on here on 5-Yard Rush as we're gearing up to fantasy season, which is why we're getting all of these Charity Bowl explainers and scoring examine series done. This one is the Argyle Bowl. If you're not familiar, run by an incredible bloke called Sam Andrews. Really runs a quite intelligent scoring charity bowl. It's not the biggest or the most well-known, but it's definitely one of the more challenging bowls out there. The scoring is, I wouldn't say it's like ridiculously crazy, but I do think it's one that does offer a challenge, and there is some sort of wrinkles in the scoring. This is a bit of a theme of the summer. Lots of these 40 and 50-yard TD and 40-yard bonuses, which we've seen in the Argyle Charity Bowl, which we've seen in the Women of Fantasy Football God and Goddesses Bowl. Varying scorings per reception for different positions, which makes my scoring sheets work a little bit harder. Not lots of other defense bonuses or defenses as well. So, yeah, all good with the scoring. It has a tight end premium, 2.25 points per reception for tight ends, 1.5 for running backs, just the 1 point per reception for wide receivers. So when we look at the data here, quarterbacks still hold a significant scoring portion of this. The top 6 dominate. Bowers then with points per reception. Jumps up before we get Chase and McCaffrey, who I have aggressively ranked. Jonathan Taylor's aggressively ranked. And you'll see these in here. In the models, QBs dominate in this format. Again, no real surprise. It is a super flex format. It is a pretty standard 1 QB with also a super flex, 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 3 flex format. That seems to be a pretty common trend on the summer of setup. But running backs, again, feature pretty prominently. I've said this in quite a few videos. I feel like if you've watched a few of these, I could be describing very, very similar tournaments. They're not. They're all different, and the scoring is different, and you have to kind of see where the drops off are. But this is a scoring format that favors quarterbacks and running backs with the 3 premium tight ends of Bowers, McBride, and Kittle getting significant boosts over the field. And then you get to Kittle and Njoku, Hawkinson, Laporta are all kind of in that 270, 280 range, which again is still scoring over the likes of Marion Hampton, Kenneth Walker. So they're there and they're still relevant. And it makes you have to draft a tight end, because if you don't, you are going to be struggling a little bit here. Wide receivers, again, we're talking about Brian Thomas Jr. is a borderline sort of a first round. He's a top 12 wide receiver. He's the 63rd highest ranked player in this draft. Tells you that wide receivers can be faded. There is some nous to taking a few early, and you can do a build, but you don't want to be littering your team early. You're really going to hate the way it performs if that's the case. So you want to start strong at QB. If you want to reach for Bowers, he's a first-round pick in total scoring. He's number 7 behind the 6 QBs. So if you want to start Bowers and get him in the first round, that's a perfectly viable strategy in this format. In the fact that he's a top 12 in scoring, it's probably encouraged that you do that. Then you need to, a QB start, not a bad way to go. QB tight end, running back start, not a bad way to go. QB tight end, running back, QB is another good way. So I think in the first 4 rounds, the strategy should be 2 quarterbacks, 1 running back, 1 of the premium tight ends if you can do it. If you can't get 1 of the premium tight ends, maybe a 2 QB, 2 RB, unless you're getting 1 of those premium wide receivers, seems to be a pretty good way of starting to work your build. And then onwards, just seeing where you go. It is really important to note that, you're going to need to get 2 good quarterbacks. If they're on the same bye week, then you're going to need to have a think about what you do there. That's going to be important. But I think you're in a good spot here with the strategy, with working this out in terms of going with running backs, then using the wide receivers. You can hammer the wide receivers in the middle part of this draft. There's some good wide receivers that you can hit, and they're not going to damage you. The likes of like Jameson Williams is only projected to score 15 points under Terry McLaurin. It gives you that kind of idea. Like less than 20 points under T. Higgins, for example. It's giving you the scope that actually the wide receiver landmark is pretty flat. You want to start looking for peaks and maybe taking those peak players like a Shaheed, like a Williams, that can have those game wrecker kind of weeks and pumping a lot of wide receivers there. Makes a lot of sense than playing with the safe play. But that's the kind of way that you need to structure this. But you're going to need to have that base of 2 good QBs, 2 good running backs, and a good tight end. I think if you can solidify that, then you can hammer the wide receiver position. That's a good strategy and a good place to go. So that's where I'm looking at this scoring and thinking of the advantages and the places where you can go. Up to you how you want to do it. The scoring sheet is in the notes. I feel like I say this on everyone, but I still get tons of messages. I can't access the scoring. In the notes, in the description. Literally go down. It's in there. You hit a link. You save your copy of the notes of the sheet, and then you can edit and do what you want. A lot of people say, I can't change the filters. You need to save a copy. So make sure you do that. Details of the charity are there as well as where you can get in touch with Sam, because I'm sure he'd love to have more players. If you've never heard of this one, that's okay. There's a lot of charity leagues out there. Hit up Sam on Twitter. He can help you out for sure. That's going to do it. Thank you very much. Please hit the like and subscribe. It means the world to us. Please write some comments. If you're getting the value out of the sheets, just say, look, really appreciate the resource. Thank you very much for doing this. You're a great guy. Anything like that, anything that's just going to increase engagement and work the algorithm would be greatly appreciated. I'm not asking for any financial contribution here. I'm really asking for a little bit of engagement just to help get this out a little bit further. And with greater content, and check out all the other stuff we're doing. We're doing some great videos. There's lots of great shorts. There's lots of great stuff we're doing. We're going to do even more as we get into the season. So thank you very much for tuning in, for subscribing. Check out everything Argyle Bowl in the links below. I look forward to playing in it. I look forward to playing you in it. And I look forward to seeing who wins this tournament. Until then, Rush Nation, don't forget, as always, we're back on Thursday. Keep rushing.